everyone. Take two, rolling, action. It took me like an hour to set up everything today, but I'm glad that I did because I'm glad I put my lights up because I feel way cuter than when I didn't have my lights. Lighting makes just the biggest difference in the whole world. Obviously we all knew that, but I'm just letting you guys all know again that lighting's really helpful. Welcome back to another episode. It took me an hour to set all of this up today because I decided to cut the roll, so now it's just like one sheet because it didn't really make sense to roll it up every single time. Yeah, Sydney Kwan Creative Studios, we're evolving and we're constantly innovating. So that's what we did for an hour, and now we can do the video. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about, I guess, how a couple different stories, because they're really, I think they're funny and interesting, about some of the videos. And a lot of my videos, I really have to ask around and hope that someone just says yes. And so I guess we'll start with one of the first videos that I ever did, which is honestly one of my favorite videos to this day. It was called Horse Girls, and it was me at this barn dancing to this song, Can't Stop Loving You by Phil Collins, that I had just discovered a couple days ago. And I was like, this song's amazing. And then I had also just started doing these videos, and I wanted to do something with horses because I was thinking about the things that I really love, and I'm a horse girl. My one goal in life is to be able to own a horse and have a farm. That is like end goal. I really, 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 really want a horse. I actually, forget if it was I think it was 2 years ago, but I decided I would try to volunteer at a horse barn, and I did that for one day. It was out in Langley, so I had to drive an hour from downtown and an hour back to go to this horse barn. And I thought that it would be fun, but I actually just shoveled, like I was mucking the stalls, which is fine. Obviously when you own a horse, you're gonna have to do that, but I was mucking like all the horse stalls, and it was mostly retired people. There wasn't really anybody my age except for on Saturdays, but I didn't volunteer on Saturdays. So I was just like mucking the barn for 3 hours by myself in the rain. And the reason that I wanted to volunteer was because I was hoping that I would be able to eventually maybe like ride the horses, or like just be able to come on my days off and hang out with the horses. But all of the horses were retired or weren't saddle trained or something like that. Like none of them could be ridden. So yeah, it was a one-day adventure. And so that was the last time that I saw a horse before this previous experience of wanting to make my video. And I had the idea of, oh man, it would be so awesome if I could work with horses. And I was telling some friends, and everyone was kind of like, yeah, I don't know, man, that's gonna be a long shot. And I thought that too. And then I was at the library working on something else, and I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna give it a go. I'm just gonna cold email a bunch of barns and see if anyone gets back to me. And for anything that I've really needed, that's pretty much been my strategy, is just cold emailing people. And so I started just emailing a bunch of barns around the area. And one person, when I was still at the library, got back to me. And he said, I said, well, this is a shortened form, of course, but because I was way nicer in the email, but I was looking for a horse. So I was like, can I go to the barn and use your horse for an art project? And someone got back to me and they said, yeah, can you come tomorrow? And I was so excited. I did not think that I would actually be able to work with a horse and make my video. And so I texted my friend Jovi, who's been in a couple videos now, and asked if he wanted to come the next day to help me film, because a lot of the videos I film by myself, but sometimes when I need extra people to film and stuff, I ask people, but also sometimes I really just need moral support because I don't think there was any way that I could go there by myself and do dancing in front of everybody and stuff. So anyways, I asked Jovi if he wanted to help, and he said sure. So the next day at like 9 a.m., we got the owner of the barn some coffee, and I got some apples and carrots for the horses, and we made our way over. And when we got there, it's so funny that he was the only person that emailed back, because when we got there, he was really nice. Well, he was letting us do our thing, but it also kind of seemed like, and if you are watching this that let us use your barn, thank you so much. But sorry if we were like intruding or like, you know, overstepping. I mean, obviously you just kind of signed up for something random, but I'm gonna act as though he's never gonna watch this video and just keep telling my story. So yeah, he kind of seemed like he didn't really want us there. And also he brought out there was a couple horses outside in kind of the main area, and then there was also lessons going on in the ring. So there were quite a few people there that day. There were people that were taking, I think it was a Sunday, they were taking their horses out to ride and stuff, and then the owner of the barn with the horse, oh, and he mentioned in the email that he had miniature horses, but in my head, I was kind of focused on a big, like, just, I wanted a big horse and to like dance around it and stuff. And his horse, he was treating his horse for an eye infection. And it didn't really seem like it was a good time. And he was like, what are you guys gonna do with the horse? And I was like, I'm gonna dance around it. And the horse was kind of it was tied up in the center of everything. So it wasn't really a private area where we could film. And so I was feeling a bit awkward, and Jovi was probably feeling awkward too. And I was like, oh, I came all this way. I wonder, you know what? Let's just use the miniature horses, because the miniature horses were in their pen. And also they were super chill and like really chill demeanor, like they wouldn't be bothered by anything. And I feel like the owner of the barn and who owned this bigger horse was a bit worried that maybe we would, you know, which makes sense. Like, I didn't want to spook the horse or anything like that, and, you know, make the horse nervous. But these horses, the miniature horses, you could tell they were just super relaxed, didn't really care about me at all. And he was like, oh yeah, like you can totally use miniature horses, like no problem. Like, so everybody was way less anxious after that point, and we shot the video, and I was rolling around in the hay, and one person after was like, what are you doing? And I was like, an art project. And he was like, cool. So that was that day, and it was really fun, and I'm really glad that I got to make that video. Like, it's gonna be in my memories forever. So that was one of the first, well, I guess there was a different video that I asked someone for help that was around, but then I kind of, after being able to cold email someone, I realized that if I wanted something and an idea came, that I really should just ask before shutting the idea down, because surprisingly, if you just send a nice email, and I hope that it can be this way like all the time, that people are just, there's some people that are open to just helping people out, I think. And if you explain your project really well, and, you know, tell them that you have no budget or whatever. So the next video that I did was, or that I needed to be resourceful and just ask people, was for the talent show video. And this video I knew was going to be a bit more difficult, because I just didn't know how I was going to get a perfect stage like how I wanted. So I sent probably like 20 emails to people, to all like every single stage that I could think of, North Vancouver, West Vancouver, downtown, like Northwest, like anywhere that would have a theater that they could let me use for an hour. And a lot of people did get back to me, but of course they're doing it for their theater rates. Like they've got to run a business, and it was ranging from $100 to $600, and I am on a very, very micro, essentially the only thing that I can afford is the dollar store budget. So I could not do those things, and I really was about to give up. And then my friend told me to try emailing the Hollywood Theater, and I actually went there recently for the first time, and it's a beautiful theater. Highly recommend it. And the GM got back to me and said that I could use it for like an hour, and we ended up being able to use it, I think, for an hour and a half or almost 2 hours. And I was stoked. So I made my shot list and got our team together and our cast. And this was the first time I was using like a camera operator slash AD, my friend Tatum, also known as Zoo State. Amazing, talented, awesome person. And we ran this like a real set because we only had an hour and a half. And of course, when you're in a professional space and a business, you don't want to take up too much of their time. So I like diligently planned my shot list. I talked to Tatum the night before, and we brought lights in and just kind of went like go, 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 go. And I find it really fun to just actually be a director, even though I'm using like the smallest, shittiest camera. It doesn't really matter because when you run a production, the more that you have prepared, the more fun you can have and just do like silly things, which is, you know, sometimes shot lists can be tedious, but they're definitely worth it in the end. So yeah, and what else I did, let me check my phone and see what other videos I can talk about that are funny stories. I mean, we shot at the VPL, and I had to ask if it was okay if we shot there, and they said yes, but then the security guards clearly don't know what their policies are because he was getting all sassy at me, and I already confirmed with the front desk that it was fine, and he was wondering what camera we were shooting on, when clearly you can see that it's a digital camera covered in stickers, and I already checked everything. So if you are planning on filming in public, make sure that you know your policies and stuff so that you can back yourself up if the security guards are uninformed. And outside of asking for locations to shoot at, I also just started going up to people and using them as actors in my scenes, which is kind of fun. It's like street casting. And I get a lot of ideas from, sometimes, you know, the ideas just come into your brain, and then sometimes when you're out filming, the things that you want to do don't work, but then you see something else that's outside that sparks an idea, and then you kind of can just ride the wave and see where your day takes you. And disclaimer, this is not easy for me. I still get nervous. Afterwards, it's fine, and I also just remind myself that I want to execute my vision so badly that it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like, I'm a bit nervous or whatever. But it is still scary going up to people and asking if they want to be in your video and having people shut you down or be like super confused, or just in general getting the courage to go up to a stranger and ask them if they want to be in an Instagram video, especially because I'm not like an influencer and I like tell people that it's for Instagram. Like, people just, I don't think they really like know exactly, but the people that do say yes are really chill, and I'm so thankful that people are like just eager to be a part of something. And I feel like, you know, if I'm on the seawall or something asking someone to be in their video, it's not something that you get to do every day. So I like that aspect of being able to treat some random stranger as an actor. And sometimes people get nervous and stuff, and like I've been there, and like been on the other side where I just have no idea what I'm doing, or like, you know, I remember like my first acting class, or like strangers have never acted before, and you're like, okay, I just need you to say this line, and then we'll do it a couple times and we'll rehearse, and it's just fun. And also, it has made the possibilities kind of endless, because when you don't have a barrier of having to formally cast someone for your production, and I'm just able to like go out for the day with my idea and see what happens, it's made things really exciting, and I never know what I'm gonna get, and it never acts as a barrier to getting my idea done. And you know, I obviously don't have like a big budget or anything like that, but I still want to act. I still want to be in a video. So yeah, this was a really good option, and I think, you know, that's why this video is titled "The World Is Your Stage," because, or the world is a stage. The world is a stage, because you can turn anything into what you want it to be. And also, I try to remind myself that when I am filming, the only difference is that I don't have a cast and crew to I guess like make me feel like I'm part of something, you know, like it's just me on my own, but it doesn't change the work, and it doesn't change what I'm actually doing. It's just obviously on a way smaller scale, and like just a micro scale compared to having a budget and having a crew and having people around you, so that it like looks like something, you know? So yeah, I guess that's just like a little insight of funny stories that have happened, how I've gotten to make these videos work, and some of the strategies and things that I do to make sure that I can make my videos. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for watching. And also, I have intro music that I did not mention until now because I just remembered, but my friend Seb made it, and he is amazing. I will put his music down in the description. Super talented artist, and I love the intro, so I'm very happy with it. Okay, I will see you guys later. Bye.